In the golden age of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar ruled with an iron fist and a desire for absolute control. To solidify his power and unify his diverse empire, he erected a colossal golden statue on the plain of Dura. It towered above the landscape, shimmering in the sun, a symbol of his dominion. The king issued a decree. At the sound of music, all must bow and worship the statue or face immediate death in a blazing furnace. Among the captives from Judah were 3 young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who served in the king's court. Their loyalty to their God, the God of Israel, was unwavering. As the day of the decree's enforcement dawned, a sense of foreboding filled the air. The sounds of instruments rang out, signaling the moment of decision. Crowds of people fell to their knees, but amidst the throng, 3 figures stood resolute. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow, their defiance a silent testament to their faith. Jealous officials, eager to eliminate these favored foreigners, seized the opportunity to report their disobedience to the king. Nebuchadnezzar's face twisted in rage as he summoned the 3 men before him. "Is it true you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold? If you do not, you will be thrown into the blazing furnace. What God will rescue you from my hand?" The men replied, "If we are thrown into the furnace, the God we serve can deliver us. But even if he does not, we will not worship your gods." The king's fury knew no bounds. He ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual, and commanded his strongest soldiers to bind and cast them into the flames. The heat was so intense that the flames killed the soldiers who threw them in, and the 3 men, bound and helpless, fell into the roaring inferno. Nebuchadnezzar watched, expecting to see their swift demise, but his eyes widened in astonishment. He leaped to his feet and exclaimed to his advisors, "Weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire? Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." The king approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted for them to come out. The 3 men emerged from the furnace, and the crowd gasped. Not a hair on their heads was singed, and their robes were untouched by the flames. Nebuchadnezzar's anger melted into awe and reverence. "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command, willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces, and their houses be turned into piles of rubble, for no other God can save in this way." Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were restored to their positions of honor, their faith rewarded and their God glorified. The fiery furnace, intended to destroy, had instead become a powerful testament to the Almighty's protection and the unshakable faith of his servants.